What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, Lions Talk Live. It is a Wednesday, and it is probably an unavoidable situation for the Detroit Lions. They are the victims of their own success. Whether you want to call it the coaching staff success, the team organizational success, so the front office, the scouting department, Brad Holmes, and everybody in between, I think the Lions are in it for the foreseeable future. If the Lions keep winning at the way that they have these last, several years, you're going to probably continue to see what's about to happen to the Detroit Lions. We're all aware that coaching staff departures happen. People get promoted. People get demoted, as we'll talk about today. The other part of it is people want what you have. They want your players just as much as they want the guys who make the calls, whether it's to be the draft or to scout or whatever it may be. We're going to get into that during the main topic of the day today. As you could probably tell from the thumbnail, Aaron Glenn, after originally leaving the team, sort of like Ben Johnson said, hey, we're not going to target your players. We're not going to target the coaching staff. Well, a week later, that may not be the case. So I will say this. I wouldn't be mad about it if you're a fan of Detroit Lions. You can feel your own way. Please do. I'm not here to tell you how to feel, but I would say this is pretty consistent with coaches who take off to new organizations. They want to bring in familiar faces. We all remember the Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia era. We kept re-signing every Patriot out there, including Mel Gibson from the movie The Patriot. And it's just part of how it is. So we'll dive into all that. We'll get into 5 headlines now. We'll get into the Duke Crew comments. But before we do, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are making that march now for 13,100 subs, and we are roughly 72 subs away from that. So if you can help out with that, that would be more than awesome. If you could also, if you have a free second of time, reach on down. It doesn't cost a dime. Hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the thumbs up button. They all help out anybody on YouTube exponentially. We try to get every video between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. So if you have a free second, please consider doing so. Last but not least, if you are thinking about buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan or the continental United States, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see my phone number on the screen, 269-998-2384. I've been in the real estate game since the early 90s, so over 30 years. If you want somebody to work on your behest, save you some hassle, save you some time, save you some difficulties, maybe even save you a dime, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen. If you're outside of Michigan, I can still work for you. I just have to do a few things a little bit differently. All right, with all that said and done out of the way, let's get this show a rocking and a rolling and a going, and let's get into the first topic of the day, which is 5 headlines now. 5 headlines. Let me tell you, in the offseason, sometimes they become a little bit more tricky to find. So anyways, Lions $18 million defensive leader shockingly tabbed as a cut candidate. The Sporting News story by Mike Moranis with this one. And you know what? Hey, we all get it. Sometimes signings aren't what we all hope they would be, and that's what you have here. Yes, we've got people that are considering at least speculating, I should say, on the Lions cutting different people here and there and moving on from them. But with that being said, it does appear that in this story from Mike Moranis of the Sporting News that he is targeting a couple of different options for the Detroit Lions to potentially purge some people from their pay scale. I strongly disagree with this take. It's his take, though, not my take. But I don't think there's any way in the world that the Lions are going to move on from Alex Anzalone. That is the person targeted in this story. He does point out the financial benefits to the team. He also points out that the Lions have Jack Campbell. I like Jack Campbell. I thought he had a very good sophomore season. I don't think he's nearly as good in coverage as Alex Anzalone, in my opinion. Okay, he points to over the cap where the Lions are projected to have a healthy $44 million in cap space. That number could potentially rise to $60 million with a few other moves. Lions do have 51 players already under their contracts. Plus, they'll have their rookie class. So, obviously, not everybody's going to make it to the team. He does think, though, that Alex Anzalone could be cut and then re-signed at a cheaper value. That his ties, that his value really is to the team, that it may not be universally be held across the NFL. So could you get Alex Anzalone to take a new deal, cut some cap? It is possible. I just don't see it happening myself. But Mike Moranis has his thoughts. We'll go with that for now. New York Jets close in on, quote, the next Ben Johnson, end quote, as Detroit Lions set for a further blow. The New York Post, story by Charlie Wilson with this one. We talked about this a little bit yesterday when the news first hit. Tanner Ekstrand has been groomed to become the Lions OC for some time. The news also came out yesterday that Tanner apparently had been offered the OC position from Dan Campbell. So keeping hold to things, true to form, whatever you want to say, Lions were going to keep things in-house. Apparently, Ekstrand talked to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is interested in hiring him as their offense coordinator. That led Tanner to come back to D.C. saying, hey, I've got an offer here. They're offering me more. I need more. And that apparently is why John Morton became the OC for the Detroit Lions. It is now official, by the way. Long story short, I don't think MCDC want to play that back and forth game. Do you want to be here or not? Okay, you don't. Good luck. Hopefully you get the job in New York. Ekstrand may have kind of overextended himself because while there is interest from the Jets to sign him, they have not signed him yet, nor have they made any offer official to him. So at the end of the day, if the Jets don't sign him, he could be on the outside looking in. He's still under contract with the Lions. Could he still remain in his current position? That is a possibility. But it does appear like Ekstrand is trying to play one team against the other, and the MCDC apparently said, yeah, we're not going to go ahead and do that. So success to him, whatever happens, I say. Lions success causing major offseason shift across the NFL. This is from Fan Side, story by Devin Plantana. And I would say you're 100% right with this story. We all get it. The Lions may be the most copied team in pro sports. And I don't just think it's for the NFL. I think if you look at the NBA to a degree and other teams, the NHL, whoever else you want to throw out there, I think you do have more and more teams in North America starting to use the Detroit Lions formula. You see it, you hear people talk about it, and I think this is spot on. When it comes to just the NFL, I do think you're seeing a lot of teams do what they can to emulate the Detroit Lions. Now, how are they doing that? Some of it is when they go to the draft, they're targeting specific personalities. Some of it is partially because of the Detroit Lions, a revitalized interest in drafting running backs higher or acquiring strong running backs. There was probably about a 5-year stretch, most of you guys were aware, in the NFL where everybody just said, hey, you're just going to plug and play with running backs. There's no high value here. No reason to really go out and spend a first or second rounder on them. Maybe very rare scenarios. But according to NFL analytics, because of Gibbs, because of David Montgomery, because of what Detroit has kind of done to recharge the running game in the NFL, you are now having other teams look at replicating that. So the Detroit Lions have become trendsetters with when it comes to the running back usage and also going into the scouting departments, how you're implementing who you take and who you do not take. It could be more stuff to it, but I'd say those are two very sound points to which the Lions have set a new trend across the league, or revitalize a trend, I guess you could say. All right, Lions reportedly send coach packing after recent departures. Fanside story by Javion Ford with this one. It's unfortunate, but hey, not everybody works out as a coach, just like not every player works out as a coach. The Lions have been very busy in recent weeks, as you guys know, moving on from Glenn, moving on from Ben Johnson. You've got Williams, who left to go over to New England to become their new defense coordinator. Lions have cut ties with one of their now former assistant coaches, now former assistant defensive line coach, Cameron Davis, per a league source, is no longer going to be a Detroit Lions. MCDC has terminated his contract. Reasons why have not been specific. But it just sounds like in MCDC's, I guess you could say, eyes, things just didn't work out there. In his first year with the club, Davis helped Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston have an outstanding rookie season. As we all seem to remember, probably, Hutchinson had 9.5 sacks. Houston had 8 sacks, respectively. After that, it sounds like things just weren't working out as well, and that's more than likely why MCDC decided to move on from Davis. Davis, hey, had a good run here. Hopefully he lands on his feet somewhere else and gets to kickstart his career again. But for whatever reason, the Lions want to go in a different direction. So sometimes you lose people because they get new contracts somewhere else. Sometimes you lose them because you just do not want to retain their services. All right. $6.5 million defender named Lions, quote, worst signing of 2024 offseason. Story by John Vaccarone of Athlon Sports. All right, Duke Crew, I'm going to throw this one at you. In the comments section, who do you think it is? Go ahead and throw your thoughts in the comments section. It's got to be a defender, and it's got to be somebody, whoever you think it was the worst free agent signing. I'm going to guess some people would say Emmanuel Mosley, even though I guess you're re-signing him. But let me know your thoughts before I give out the spoiler. I'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so they have Athlon Sports and John Vaccarone have come up with a name as the worst free agent signing for the Detroit Lions on defense. And if you said Davenport, you would be right. So Marcus Davenport, I won't blame it all on him. We get it. He's got an injury history. We also get it if you watch that Arizona Cardinals game. One could surmise that both he and Derek Barnes were the victims of cheap shots, and that ended their respective seasons. Probably cost them a whole lot of good money on next year's free agent market, or this upcoming year's, I guess, free agent market. Marcus Davenport just didn't pan out. When he played, I thought he did a pretty good job. Unfortunately for the Detroit Lions and the defense, there just wasn't much there. Where he goes from here, who knows? I don't anticipate the Lions will resign him unless it's an incredibly cheap deal, maybe very team-friendly. Just like I think Emmanuel Mosley, without going into his details in the story, I think his NFL career is probably done, and just wish him well. But in regards to this story, he was listed as the $6.5 million defender named Lions' worst signing of the 2024 offseason. All right, Duke Crew, let's go ahead, and now that 5 headlines are done, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, is it a sign of respect when former coaches from your organization want your players? Is it a sign of respect, or is it, man, hey, whatever you want to term it? I know some of you yesterday when I broke the news on the Aaron Glenn situation and Extran, etc. Some of you had certain thoughts on it. Some of you have other thoughts on it. I'm not telling you what to feel. Here's my thoughts. As a coach, hey, you get an opportunity to advance your career, go for it. Yes, some people are going to want to follow you, whether it was just coaches, whether it was just scouts, front office people, or players. But hey, when Aaron Glenn first departed for the Jets, he came out and said, I'm not going to, go out and try to get any Detroit Lions coaches or players. Less than a week later, that isn't holding water, is it? We do know he's now come out and said he would like to get potentially Derek Barnes, maybe Levi Onwuzurike. And I get it from a coaching standpoint. You want people who already understand your systems. You already have identified, can fit your systems. There's just familiarity there. Some people like other people, want to work with people. We all get that. We all have jobs. We all have careers. It happens. But it does sound like Aaron Glenn is specifically going to go after some Detroit Lions free agents. There is also rumors that are starting to emerge that Aaron Glenn would like to acquire Kerby Joseph. And I get it. You want a center fielder. You want somebody to play over the top in your schemes, your systems. And again, familiarity. You know what he has. Let's also keep in mind, in order for this to go down and happen, Kerby Joseph still has 1 year left on his contract. The deal he signed as a rookie has 1 year left. and it's basically the base salary is $3.2 million. Total cap hit, we'll just say $3.5 million for his total for next year. Lions have talked about re-signing him this offseason, but could it be that Aaron Glenn tries to make some sort of trade for him? Or is it possible that Kerby Joseph just says, nah, I'm not going to re-sign. I'll play out my final year, and then I'm going to try to go for a free agency, sign with the Jets or whoever, and go for a big mega deal. Whatever it is, I'm not here to say it's right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just the reality of the league in the situation. Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, and every other coach in the league are going to come after some of our free agents or even due to be expiring contract players. Just like I think Jameson Williams will probably fall into the same situation. You're going to have some teams that are going to want to come out and get him. So what do you do if you're the Detroit Lions knowing this situation? There have been talks about the Lions trying to re-sign Barnes. Levi Onwuzurike, I'm going to guess, is a player of interest for Detroit because Ali McNeil is not going to be ready at the start of the season. My guess is you're probably not getting a lean back till maybe mid-October. I don't know, man. Maybe early November. That's a pretty good amount of time throughout the NFL schedule. So what do you do if you're Brad Holmes? What do you do if you're Dan Campbell? Do you try to re-sign these guys and now get into a bidding war, or do you part ways with it? I want to know from the Duke crew today. Yes to Derek Barnes or no to Derek Barnes. You can just put Barnes yes, Barnes no. Levi, yes or no. Kerby Joseph, yes or no. And I get probably if Aaron Glenn truly does want Kerby Joseph, my assumption is he's going to have to trade for him this year. Otherwise, the Lions are just going to franchise tag him, and you can do that twice to the player. So, I mean, the Lions could have him in effect 3 more seasons at that point. Father Time isn't good to any of us. Values for players start going down. But it does, I think today's topic brings up an interesting topic we're all going to have to face this year, next year, and probably the foreseeable years. You're going to have players, you're going to have coaches continue to depart Detroit, and that's a sign of success. I would compare it to, if you're old enough to remember the San Francisco 49ers of the 80s or the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s or the New England Patriots for the most part of the last 20 years, you always had assistant coaches taking off. And yes, everybody wanted when they took off to re-sign Patriots ways, players to bring the Patriot way over to that new team, that new organization. Didn't always work out, did it? But I understand why coaches want to do it. So, Duke Crew, what say you? Out of these guys, who do you want to see remain in Detroit? Who do you want to see go? I don't have a problem with Aaron Glenn coming after these guys. I know there are also some reports that Ben Johnson is trying to get Kevin Zeitler to come over there, Dan Skipper to come over there. And I want to say there were a couple other players that he was trying to get to potentially come over to the Bears. And I would get Skipper. I would get Zeitler because the Bears' offensive line is not strong. I think they would probably help out. All right, Duke Crew, let's see what you guys have to say. This will not be the longest hour show that I normally put out there just because we had a big win last night and for my team. We've got a big game Friday. I've got a tight schedule today and tomorrow, so I got to try to free up 45 minutes to watch some film and tape on the team we play Friday. It's a rivalry game, so both teams are probably going to be a packed house, everybody into it, and try to do right by the team and have them as prepared as possible. All right, let me scroll to the top of the screen and get going and rolling with this one. Excuse me as I clear my throat. Man Bear, have a fantastic day. Same to you, my friend. As always, thank you for being in the comment section. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Come on back now. Y'all, you here? Exclamation point. Woo! And we'll thank you for that, Bo. Clark, it feels like it's been a minute or two since I've seen you, Clark. Yo, Duke Crew, knew this would be something to happen. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn are going to want people that know their systems already. 100%. Every coach does. It makes the learning curve a whole lot less, especially if it was someone like Kerby Joseph, because I don't think most people, and you can have your opinions. Here's my opinion. Kerby Joseph is an integral part of this team. The fact that he can command the secondary the way he does and occupy a great majority of the center field, you just have a lot of flexibility from a defensive coordinator standpoint, what you can do and not do with the defense. I would totally understand why Aaron Glenn would want him. Michael, figures? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's going to happen. Next year when some other assistant coaches take off, they get, elevated jobs with other teams, you also have them want to take some players with them as well. I mean, I totally get it, man. Johnny L, what's going on, Coach and Duke Crew? What's going on with you, Johnny L? Good to see you this morning. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day. Marcus, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. With all the coaches coaching hires and moves, I'm learning one thing. These bros ain't loyal. Go Lions. It could be loyal. It could be familiarity. There's a lot of different ways you could put it out there, Marcus. I get as Lions fans, we all want to see the family remain together. Everybody stay in house, do all these things, keep the band going forward. But I also get from a player standpoint, hey, I really got along well with this coach. They're offering me an opportunity and maybe financially a bigger contract. I mean, I get that stuff. It just stinks watching and see. Lions fans weren't really not used to this because, let's be honest, our teams haven't been that strong where you have a bunch of other teams trying to hire our coordinators to become head coaches. This is really the first time I can remember in my lifetime. I'm 52, I'm going on 53, that I can remember not one, but two coaches being hired somewhere else to become head coaches. And to be fair, I don't remember any of our assistant coaches ever becoming head coaches somewhere else, let alone you're seeing our defensive line coach become the DC. There's going to be continued fallout, or I guess hires, just because we have become one of the primary teams in the NFL. Henry, good morning, Coach Dan and Dooku! Exclamation point! What a day! What a podcast! Thank you for that, Henry. What a day to be a Lions fan! Woo! And we are one day closer to free agency. Personally, I can't wait. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations, all. Kerby has a year left on his rookie contract or deal. Excuse me. And yes, you are correct. That would mean the Jets would have to trade for him, right? Yes, they would have to trade for him. It's either that, Eddie, or they would have to wait until next year when he's, technically a free agent. The Lions don't want to franchise him. If they can't work out a new deal, then yeah, he could just sign with the Jets, or to be fair, any team in the NFL. Marcus, deal denied. I concur. I would not let Kerby Joseph leave. He's just, again, he just provides you too much flexibility, in my opinion, on defense. Johnny L ain't happening. I concur. Man Bear, Kerby is staying in Detroit. I sure hope so. Michael, what you call building something great, then destroy it when these unloyal coaches and players? It happens, man. And again, probably if you look across sports, especially the NFL, you do see this happen a lot when people depart ways and take off. I just hope we can keep the core players and coaches together. It's going to be, a tricky slope, though, because it will be difficult. Jason, how many players are we set to lose? That is a good question. I know I listed a couple that Aaron Glenn came out and specifically said he wanted to sign or to try to get. I do know, not through Ben Johnson, but there are a lot of rumors in Chicago that Dan Skipper and then, again, Kevin Zeitler are people that he wants, or Ben Johnson wants to bring over to the Bears. And I think that would make total sense given their offensive line situation. I hope they don't get either one of them, though. Let's see, Moonscar, good morning. Duke Crew starting lineup. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you were cheering on the Red Wolves last night. That was a historic win. So for you, those of you who don't know, Pawpaw, we won at Kalamazoo Central. Great place to play. It is the place on North Drake Road. It is the basketball mecca of Southwest Michigan. And it is the first time, apparently, since 1968 that Pawpaw was able to win against Kalamazoo Central in basketball. All right, Trey, what's good? All question mark. Everyone has a price. You're not wrong. What would we get in exchange for KJ? I don't see Holmes giving him up. I don't either. And that is a phenomenal question, Trey. I guess let me ask you, Duke Crew. If we were to trade him, what do you think the expected price would be? Would it be a first rounder, a second rounder, a second and third? Let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think Kerby Joseph's asking price is? I got to imagine it's probably not like 2 or 3 first rounders. I don't think it's anything like that. But I think you could probably get a pretty good return on that investment if you were to trade him. And personally speaking, I hope we don't. John, good morning, Coach and crew. This is how that Super Bowl window closes fast. We had 2 good shots. Hope we get more. I think we will. Just me personally, I'm wired. I'm always positive, Pete. I think we're going to get some more opportunities. I think next year is the year we are going to win the Super Bowl. But that's how I'm wired. Hardy, Kerby isn't a free agent until 2026. Wouldn't we have to trade him? Correct. It would have to be a trade. He's got 1 year left on his rookie deal. Darcy, the Chiefs in New England went through this the same situation. Yeah, 100%. Coaches left, get hired somewhere else. Everybody wants what you have. Players depart as well. Some players come back, though, too. Already, all these other Detroit all the others Detroit could possibly upgrade at those positions. Yeah, they could 100%. Phil, good morning. Always good to see you, Phil. New guitars in the photo, it would appear. Doing some more work, it would appear, my friend. Jason, I keep forgetting we get a healthy Hutchback, plus a new draft. The Bears and the Jets do not have Brad Holmes. They do not. And that's one thing we can say. If you do really want to trade some guys instead of re-signing them, I would say that means Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have full faith that they already have some younger players here to take those roles, or they're going to be able to find replacements in the draft. John King, good morning, coach and crew. This is how the Super Bowl window closes. We had two. Hey, I feel like I just read this one. My bad. Let's see, Lance, good morning. Phil, I say trade Kerby, avoid paying a big contract, get some solid draft picks, and resign Iffy or CD3 to take his spot. You know, that's a interesting take there, Lance. I get you would be able to save some money for sure. There's no doubt about that. Kerby Joseph is going to get paid. Could you move Carlton Davis to Kerby Joseph's spot? I had speculated earlier this week that instead of signing Iffy, or if you can't sign him to a real team-friendly deal, that maybe you put CD3 at his spot. But do you move CD3 back there along with Brian Branch and now have Terrion Arnold, Robertson, maybe Rakestraw assume the cornerback spots? That's an idea, man. It's not a bad idea. Paperback fan, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. I'm sure he would target some Lions, would make sense. Just hope they realize what they would be leaving if they go. Yeah, 100%. You know, either have belief that the Jets are going to get it all done, and maybe that's where some of the players do believe that it's an easier situation to win in their division versus the NFC North, or maybe it's just, you know, selfishly the paychecks. Five Fingers Freddy, I have zero doubt Johnson will try to sign Skipper, Zettler, and others. Glenn will go for Barnes, CD3, Iffy. Yeah, 100%. I can see both those scenarios unfolding. Phil, beginning to believe there's something seriously wrong with the Lions. Coaches, players, front office are leaving the team. What happened? It's just, in my opinion, Phil, I don't choose to believe it's anything in-house or a reason why, man, I don't want to be here anymore. It's just an opportunity for guys to advance their career and, again, you know, inflate their savings accounts, etc. So that's my belief, at least. Moonscar cash, yeah, probably 100%. A lot of it, the motivation is probably cash, or again, opportunity to advance your career, or a combination of the both. Art, both coordinators have betrayed us. The NFL can be dirty business, 100%. I mean, you guys heard me say it before. You are hired to be fired as a coach, especially at the professional or collegiate ranks. If you're not winning, you're donezo super quick. You can say that at every level, I guess, as a coach. So these coaches know that when they take off and get a new job, they want to do everything they can to try to win now, because realistically, it's not like it was 30, 40 years ago when you got hired as a coach. Most teams understood it was going to take time. They'd give you 5 years. That day doesn't happen really more. I mean, look at this past offseason. What, you had 2 or 3 coaches get fired after 1 year? The clock's already ticking for these guys. France, good day all. Change is a constant in life and in sports. I just have faith in Holmes and to replace anything that leaves. Yes, 100%. Hey, Brad Holmes has done a great job, drafting players, developing players along with coaching staff, etc. I think if some of these guys do depart, we should all believe the Lions are going to, do just fine with replacing him. Susan Scott, good morning, Duke Crew. If Glenn gets Kerby to go there, that would be a big blow to our defense, in your opinion? Yeah, I agree. Kerby, like I was saying earlier, he's a general on the field. He's a center fielder. He takes care of a lot of different things, so you can afford to do other things up front at the line of scrimmage. I like him. Normal turnover, nothing to worry about. I like the way you're thinking. Steve, good morning to Coach Dan and the Mountain Dew crew. I don't like the thumbnail. There's only so many players that we can replace. That's the tough part, Steve. I mean, you're spot on. We have, 7 draft picks this year. Let's assume, just for the sake of discussion, Barnes leaves. If he leaves, CD3 leaves. Kerby gets traded. Levi Owens-Enrique signed somewhere else. Yes, you can augment some of the losses by signing other players in free agency, which could happen, and you can draft some people. The nice, I guess, part for the Lions is that you do have some flexibility with some of the younger guys you already drafted last year. Can Rakestraw step up? Maybe he can. Some of the offensive line options, I think we're all anticipating Christian Mahogany is going to step in and probably start next year. Could Giovanni, Manu? We'll have to wait and see what shakes out there. I could see Gio replacing Skipper in that kind of tight end, 6 offensive lineman role, maybe occasionally starting or whatever. We'll have to see what shakes. Stephanie, what do you got? Good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Working early today. I don't see us letting Joseph leave the building unless the team really has a legit replacement. I do wonder what his trade value would bring to Lions. That's my question. What do you guys think that he would command in a trade? I mean, I would be interested to see what you guys think his trade value is. Quentin, greetings and salutations all. Let's see. Heck nog, AJ kick those rocks. Fair enough. We'll keep him away from the players. Jim, keep Kerby. He is one of our best players. I agree with that. Fully, 1,000%. But if the Jets want him bad enough, how about a player swap and 3 first-round picks? That sounds about right. 3 first-round picks. If we can get that, I would say trade him immediately. And it's nothing against Kerby Joseph. I would just take 3 first-round picks and trust the front office, Brad Holmes, to do right by the team with those picks. So small. Brad Holmes is a mastermind at building and maintaining a team. Whatever he chooses to do, I have full faith in. Yeah, 100%. I think most Lions fans would feel that way. Voltron, trade Terrion Arnold to the Jets for Sauce, exclamation point, laughing out loud. We'll see what happens. I like Sauce Gardner. I like Terrion Arnold, though, too. Moonscar, can't pay every veteran. This is true when they start to perform so well and put stats they want to be paid accordingly. And it all catches up to you. Keep your core and replace the rookie contracts, draft well. Yeah, at some point, we're not going to keep everybody, so you're spot on. You may have to trade a couple guys or let them walk, so we'll see what they do. Pat, good morning, Duke Crew. Congrats on, hey, thank you for that, 13,000. Coach Dan and Duke Crew, yeah, hit it yesterday, and thank you all. Hey, if you guys are watching, you're a part of it. I appreciate all the help you guys have had in helping build the Duke Crew up, so thank you, everybody out there. Again, at some point, had to figure there would come a time where you're going to lose talent. That's the penalty of drafting well. Couldn't say it any better, Ken. Brad Holmes will figure out a way to get back value and not losing it for NIL. Correct. Dave, let's see, Dave Bing just goes to show Glenn and Johnson are only worried about their team's careers. Loyalty is not a thing. There's a lot of truth to that. I'm sure they love, I'm going to assume at least, they love Detroit Lions. They loved Dan Campbell, etc. But again, their sand in their hourglass has already started ticking. Their coaches, if they both have bombs for their first year, you have to know that you can't afford 2 real bad seasons as a coach to start your career. Otherwise, you're probably fired. Hardy, Phil, this happens every year to the best teams. The Lions have never been this good. You're not wrong there, or strong before. So we haven't had to deal with it. Yearly issue with Kansas City in the past with the New England. Yeah, I'd agree fully with that, Hardy, 100%. Robert, good morning. Duke Crew and let's see, Duke Crew in DC, CD. Coach Dan. I got it. Sorry, man. It took me a minute. Our season stinks this year, unless, of course, you're still playing. That you're not wrong, but only 2 teams can say that. Sorry, I got a little messed up there, Robert. I believe the Lions will be just fine next season. Me too, man. I'm still holding my guns about a 12-win season. Trey, give us the right price. Kerby can be had. I like the way you're thinking. Ken, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons if you want on your way to the chat. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all the above. Scott, appreciate and respect AG, but in regards to Levi, Barnes, and Kerby, just say no. I like it indeed, my friend. I like it indeed. Moonscar, it was always Brad Holmes and MCDC's vision. Draft defense, develop a better overall pass rush, and the O takes a little dive. The D will hopefully rise. Me too. I think so. I think they will. There's no fears. Greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew! Exclamation point. Loyalty is definitely key. We're going to see who's got it. Lightning and Thunder gets 100%, my friend. And as always, good morning to you. Let's see more. What do you got? Heck, now y'all better build through the draft. Stop trying to steal Lions players and coaches. 100% there. I hope they do. Unfortunately, I do worry they're going to snag a few. Robert, AG can draft his own players. Yes, he can. Now, will he, though? Hardy, the question is, would you rather be good like the Lions or terrible like the Bears and have to cycle through coaches, quarterbacks, and free agents every couple years? It's a big question. We'll see what the Bears elect to do. Same with the Jets. Darcy, it'll be interesting to see who all leaves. Yeah, and some are going to leave. We can't keep everybody. I think we get that, but we'll see who we can keep. Already half of Coach Dan's intro might be leaving. I know a few of you have reached out and said he might have to have a new intro for next year. I'll probably have to rebuild a few intros for next year. Hey, change is going to happen every season. Leonard, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Back at you. Hopefully you're having a good start to your morning, my friend. Courtney, well, there is more drama than good soap opera. Yeah, there is. Days of Our Lions. That could be an intro or maybe an exit intro. Do some kind of knock on the Days of Our Lives for the Detroit Lions. You just gave me a great idea there. Thank you. Johnny L., I'm not worried about it. We will prevail. Agreed. Leonard, Jets. Manfred, if AG wants Kerby, he probably should have stayed in Detroit or at least got them to the Super Bowl instead of planning their coaching dreams, team turning the bye. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Tony, the NFL is a business. I pray that we keep our defense. We got hit with injury bug on that side of the ball. We're good. If we can add on two of what we have, we Gucci. Yeah, 100%. If we can add just a couple key parts to that defense, make it a little bit better, I think we will be dang good. All right, Pierce, Kerby laughing out loud. Good luck. There you go. Drew, good morning, Coach Dan and the famous new crew, ! Maybe we should ask a question. Maybe our free agents want to go there regardless of the money, and maybe because of Aaron Glenn. I think there will be some of that for sure. If you really liked him as a coach, you thought, hey, you'll be able to stay a starter, keep your career going forward, whatever it may be. There is probably some of that, Drew, for sure. Amutskar, we can extend Kerby now, roll his 2025 signing into. Yeah, and I do think they're going to try to re-sign him this offseason. I think him, Hutch, J-Mo are probably all going to be targets this offseason. We can extend, got it. Yeah, and his cap hit would average about $12.75 million. There you go. Keith, good morning to you, Dan, and everyone. Back at you, Keith. Hopefully it's a good start to your day. Boss Up, what up, Duke crew? I'm working on some content for the Boss Up Ball Out show and Lions Nation Unite. Thanks for all the support to Coach Dan and myself. AG needs to keep his mitts off our players. I'm down with that. And good to see you as always, Kurt Steele. JK, didn't matter what happens if Lions get the injury season bug. We are back to square one. Yeah, probably. JK. Philippines on demand just got here. Are we losing Kerby Joseph? I hope not. It does sound like Philippines that Aaron Glenn wants him. Now, how do you get him if you're Aaron Glenn? He's got 1 year left on his contract. You would have to trade for him, or Kerby Joseph would have to not re-sign with the Detroit Lions, become a free agent, and then the Lions would have to not put a franchise tag on him. Let's see more. What do you got? What's up, Boss Up Ball Out? JK, I was told trade Kerby this offseason. We'll see. Moonscar, Kerby still has a year left on his contract, so only if someone puts a good trade package together. Correct with that. Kurt Steele, sorry, wrong count. Boss Up Ball Out at 8. Hey, we'll all be there. Let's see, Philippines. Moonscar played. Woo! Thank you. This offseason has been brutal. It still could be a little bit more. Brian, I read an article on Google that said 31 teams have sent letters to NFL to investigate the refs in KC. This was on a Google, not Facebook or anywhere else. So to your point, it was brought up yesterday, I think by ESPN, that during the playoffs, Kansas City Chiefs have been flagged 90% less than all other NFL playoff teams. I think we all get it. The hit on Jared Goff, if that would have been Patrick Mahomes, they would have arrested the guy and buried him, I don't know, in some sort of Russian prison camp or something like that. And I think you're seeing more and more people. I know the comedian Bill Burr was on, Rich Eisen show and basically was calling out the NFL and calling out Rich Eisen, making jokes about it, but still being very poignant that he felt like the Kansas City being in the Super Bowl was kind of fixed, that anytime the NFL could massage an area to help assist Kansas City. And you do see more and more of that commentary this year coming out because, let's be honest, some of those hits in the Houston game on Patrick Mahomes, they should not have been personal foul penalties. And again, if they're all pointing out, if it happens to other quarterbacks, they're not getting the same calls. And I'm not going to make a show on it, but I think we all get it. You guys, if you watch the show anytime, I've reported on the Lions for 30 plus years. I've done a number of hit pieces on the NFL for kind of targeting the Lions and not giving the Lions calls. Kansas City's kind of on the opposite side of that, Brian. They're getting anything they can to get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. And I get why, too. It is a business. Brian, good morning to all. Go Wings. Philippines, I found the Lions quarterback in the future, but nobody listens to me. quarterback Jackson Dart, Old Miss. That dude is awesome. I know he is a player of interest. I don't see us getting him. I think somebody else will get him before us. Andrew, I want to keep Kerby here. Me too, man. Gun guy, take your pants off. Fair enough. Do what you got to do while you're watching the show, I guess. More, the new era is here. Exclamation point. I've said that we may need new coaches to continue to move towards Super Bowl contention. 100%. And I think every year we're going to run into the same issue. David, Marcus Davenport, you were correct. Courtney, correct. Davenport, yeah, it sounds like everybody guessed that one. Moonscar, new DC may have his own people he wants to bring in for assistance. Correct. Yeah, Kelvin Shepard may. 100%. JK, it's not the ref, guys. Everything is fictional from the get-go. I laugh every time the only refs is to blame. No, I think there's a lot of different parts involved. I don't think they rig games. I think they, like the comedian said, I think they massage games. Anytime you give them a gray area, they're going to take advantage of it. Let's see, Andrew, he got hurt, but he was looking nice until then. Yeah, he did, but the problem is he's always hurt. All right, what about moving Zadarius Smith into a coaching position? I think at some point that could be in his future. Now, whether that's next season, wait and see. Keith, we need to keep Kerby and Alex, exclamation point. They are leaders on our defense. I would agree. Along with Hutch, McNeil, and Brian Branch. Draft and build around them. We have the foundation of a great D. Go Lions, Super Bowl bound. Woo! And I like the way you're thinking. Moonscar, Z Smith isn't ready to hang it up yet. No, I think he's got 1 or 2 years left. Big D, no, it's sneaky. Okay. Courtney, G, exclamation point. You mean others thought Cardinals were head hunting? No, I think a lot of us did. Or elbow hunting, knee hunting, etc. Paul, without going into what happened with Mosley, can you just give us a small hint as to what's going on with him, or does anyone in the Duke crew know and want to fill me in? I'll just say I think it's a it's a non-football situation where I wish him well. I hope he overcomes it. JK, we can't pay everyone. Go research. Yeah, 100%. You can't pay everybody. You're going to have to make some hard choices. If you keep drafting well, players keep playing to their potential and being coached up in a good way, yeah, you're not going to be able to keep everyone. Manfred, no way Zadarius Smith showed up for division games, and we haven't seen him paired with Aiden yet. That's true. We haven't. Let's see, Courtney, Paul, my medical Scooby-Doo says PTSD. All right. Coach Rock, good morning. All the NFL probably told other teams to raid the Lions coaching staff. It seems through the years, this always happens when we get a good team from 57 to now. Yeah, if you're doing well in business or in sports, people are going to try to take what you got. Jerry, AG knows we have to trade Kerby. We can't pay 2 safeties that much. He's got to pay up, though. That does bring up an interesting point, Jerry. Do you try to pay Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph? If you got to pick one out of the 2, who do you go with? If the Lions know this going forward, do you look to trade Kerby Joseph to get something for him instead of nothing? That's a great point. Great point. James, greetings, salutations, Duke crew, and exclamation points. Any news on if anyone in the front office was poached by other teams? Not yet that I can, at least that I can think of, James, but it's going to happen this offseason. You're going to see some of the front office people and scouting department taken, but we've seen that the last, I want to say 2 years, especially in the scouting department. Paul, okay, thanks, no worries. More, yes to all. Paul, Barnes, yes. Paul, Joseph, yes. Lions Talk Live, KJ, yes. Andrew, keep them all if possible. I like it. David, yes to Barnes, Levi, and Kerby. Moonscar, Kerby, yes. Levi, yes. At the right price, Barnes can be replaced. All right. JK, Lions had good connections with teams, especially Jets. Now with AG, Jets, inside Jets, then it's more likely to get big trades. Okay. Philippines, Barnes, no. Levi, no. Kerby, yes. Resign him. All right. Robert, yes, and yes. Levi, Barnes, and Kerby. Eric, good morning, Coach Duku. Back at you. Paul, we must franchise Kerby. No if and or buts about it. Okay. Courtney, keep all keepers. Bama has nose tackle at Senior Bowl. They do indeed. Rocky or Coach Rock, keep them all, especially Kerby and Barnes. James, Kerby, yes. Others depends on their contract demands. Don't overpay Levi or Barnes. Yeah, I could go with that. JK, trade Kerby now while he has value, in your opinion. Yeah, that could be what they do. And again, especially with the point that if you don't feel like you can resign both him and Brian Branch, you might have to make some hard choices. All right, Keith, Kerby, yes. Barnes, no. Levi, yes. All right, Southwest, good morning. Ultimately, if your career is enhanced by going to another team, promotion, if you're a coach or more money if you're a player. I don't blame anyone for doing it. Yeah, me neither. Moonscar, very big revenge game Friday. Man D on the docket. Might be. Rocky M, that's right, Coach. Get that team prepared. Don't pull a Glenn or Johnson. No, it's not in me, man. I'm probably going to be. I know their coach was doing the same stuff. Real good coach, real good program. Probably, like most coaches, we're going to probably not sleep much the next couple of days, doing everything we can. Man, what do they do if this kid wears these type of socks? I mean, just you look at every detail probably over the top. Keith, if we can keep them all right. Drew, congrats, Coach, on your victory last night, and good luck Friday. Thank you for that. Paul, what a great coach you are, Dan. Hey, thanks for that. They deserve your time also. Watch the tape and whoop, that button Friday. Good luck. Hey, it's gonna be a good game. I have no doubt about it. Southwest Line, it all comes down to Brad Holmes being able to see the draft well, find value in free agency. You're not going to be able to keep all your good players. You are correct. See, Manfred would love to keep most of them, but at the end of the day, we're going to have a lot of major contract re-signings coming up. So we would have to have a few of these players take a pay cut to keep them. Yeah, 100% there. Spot on. Kim, they want our good players. Make them pay big. Need very good draft picks. Yeah, and again, if you guys have an idea what the draft value or trade value for Kerby would be, put it in the comment section. JK, hope you guys win, Coach Dan. Districts in the blueprint. Let's hope so. Philippines, getting to the top is easy. Staying at the top is harder because when you have success, everyone wants to take what you have. There's no loyalty in the game anymore. No, there isn't. And, the other part is you draft lower, so there's all of that above. Southwest, Dan, congrats on your team win yesterday. Good luck Friday. Thank you very much for that. Keith, Kerby and Brian Branch make up the best safety tandem in the NFL. I like the way you're thinking, and I couldn't agree more. Cannot break them up. Agreed. Ken, Brad Holmes about to show everyone just how qualified he is. Entering the phase new to Lions fans, losing players because you are so talented. You are spot on with that. Let's hope Brad Holmes has that Dave Dombrowski trading skills. Oh, that's a good throwback. I forgot about Trader Dave. JK, we might lose half of a quarter of the roster. Could be. Gian, what do you got? Got to trade Kerby? Maybe. J-Mo, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you. Can't pay everyone if rather keep Branch than Kerby. Okay, and there will be some that feel that way, Dijon. Let's see. Rocky, seems like the core of coaches are gone, but we still have MCDC. Yes, we do. Philippines, players that want to go, let them go. Exclamation point. I want guys that want to be here in the 313. I'll take heart and grit over unloyal talent any day. Give me a lunch bucket guy, okay? Andrew, assuming you can't keep all your free agents, who do you let go? That is the $1 million question, isn't it, Andrew? Johnny L, no way to trade. We trade KJ. JK, make Jets give up 3 picks. All right, what picks, though? We talking first? We talking seconds, thirds? We talking 8th round picks? Let me know. Hootscar, a little revenge game for Coach Dan, too. Stayed with the Giants with a double-edged sword. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. But, hey, I coached at Kansas Central 3 times, twice with basketball, once with tennis. So it was kind of a going-home thing. Plus, I graduated from there a good jillion years ago. Moonscar, not trading on All-Pro. Yeah, I would say if you're going to trade him, you're going to have to get a whole lot in return. Brian, great. Dan, you're saying we're trading Kerby for Aaron Rodgers. Let's hope not. I would strongly discourage that line of thinking there, Brian. Keith, Ben Johnson, AG, go get your own players. Now show us how good you think you are. Not? Okay. Miles Barker, greetings, sanitation. Congrats on your team, Coach. Thank you for that. Dijon, 2nd and 4th. Okay. All right. I'll go with that. Southwest, Dan, if John Morton gets rid of shotgun empty, I feel much better about him as the OC. I think you're probably going to be seeing that, and I think that it's not a coincidence. Both he and MCDC talked about certain key points yesterday. Rolling, only way I would trade Joseph is for Sauce Gardner. Okay. Kim, NFC Defensive Player of the Year, 1st round plus. Oh, I like it. Rocky, 1st and 2nd for Kerby. Could be for the following year. Could be. Yeah, you could be, separate them so they're not in the. Oh, hey, all right. Camera's back. Went out for a second. Derek, KJ for Devontae Adams, a 4th and 5th, maybe make him pay. Ooh, that would be interesting having Devontae Adams with this offense, wouldn't it? JK, 1st, 2nd, 3rd for Kerby. I'll take that. Huge draft capital. I like it. Courtney, gold jacket waiting for Kerby. Might be. JK, bro, bye Super Bowl. All right. JK, Southwest. Would the Lions get a compensatory pick if we lose Derek Barnes? I think so, but don't hold me to that. I'm just not 100% sure on that, Southwest. Moonscar, I'm pretty confident we can extend and re-sign who we need. 51 players under contract now with somewhere between 56 and 58 million in cap space. More than last year, we are rolling over 24 million in cap space. Yeah, and we still don't know if the cap will go up this year. If it does, then we'll have even more, right? Philippines, Benedict and his cousin H.E. both admitted they want where they wanted to be. It was in Detroit. That's why I love Coach Campbell, because his heart is in Detroit. I want guys that want to be here. Correct. You can't hate me now. We can use a tag on him, but not at $15 million a year. We can resign Davis. Yeah, there you go. Hootscar, I like the take on Manu replacing Skipper. Much more athletic. Yeah, yes, he is. And it's nothing against Dan Skipper. I just think, man, you talk about pulls and stuff like that, or trips where you have him in there. Yeah, and I mean, they're both massive human beings, but having him out there on a rookie contract too saves you some money, and you continue to develop him for the future. Richard, better worry if they lose Joseph. Yeah, I'm going to guess they're going to have a plan to replace him if they are going to move on from him. Ken, big thing to remember, Detroit is a destination of choice now. You are not wrong there. Free agents will be looking to play for Lions now. You're spot on with that, Ken. Southwest, NFL teams do receive compensatory picks when they lose more or better compensatory free agents. CFAs, that's a sign during the free agent period. Okay. JK, if someone offered me more money for a job in someone else's team, I would leave in a heartbeat. Also, regarding if I'm a Lions fan. Yeah, regardless if I'm a Lions fan. Yeah, and that's one thing as fans we have to remember. You're spot on with that, JK, that they got to make business decisions for them. I know we all want them to stay here, but they're thinking about their careers and families, because unfortunately for most NFL players, the next hit could be your last hit in your career. James, if the Jets want Kerby, send Sauce in the first and third. I'll take that. JK, it's all rigged anyways. Let's see. Derek Wayne, what do you got? Why are we pretending that if he isn't always hurt? He is, man. Move on. Barnes has been hurt most of the year. Do we really need him? I'll leave that to the front office to decide. Mike D, good morning, Coach Dan and chat. Salute and congrats. Thank you for all of that, and good to see you, my friend. Southwest line, keep Kerby, better team guy, and 9 INTs is no joke. You are correct there. Dwayne, send me Sauce for Kerby and resign Iffy. There you go. Robert, first, third, and sixth. Thank you. Keith, this draft and free agent focuses on D-line. Then we are 13-4 and Super Bowl bound. Go Lions. Woo-hoo! I'm down with that. Dynamite, y'all crazy. Kerby or Branch won't be going anywhere, or Hutch. Yeah, I don't see any of them leaving, but I do think at some point you may have to make a choice if you're going to invest two big contracts into both Brian Branch and Kerby. I would like to keep them all because I think they're that good, but we'll have to wait and see. Johnny, the NFL is really rigged. Okay. King SJ, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Got to at least listen to trade offers. Yeah, at least see what some of these say. If they're going to overpay, I get what you're saying. Whether Kerby is one of them or we are going to be able to keep everyone. Yeah, we're not going to be able to keep everyone. You're 100% right there. JK, got to pay Branch big. We can't pay both Kerby and Branch. No way. All right. Bo, happy trails due tomorrow. We'll see you then. Dynamite, we can keep both. Okay. Southwest, JK, that's true, but they're both under their rookie contracts this year. We don't have to make that decision now. No, we have a little time left. Keith Dolomite, I agree. Mark, keep Kerby for sure. He has a relationship with Brian Branch and others that go beyond the work on the field. This relationship shows up on the field. I think that's spot on there, Mark. JK, need to pay Hutch and JMO. We can't. Yeah, you're going to have to make some hard choices going forward. Philippines, if you can get a first, second, and fourth in the same draft for Kerby and draft Georgia's Malik Starks to replace him, but I don't want to lose Kerby. No, I don't think any of us want to. See, Southwest, exactly right. It's not just the talent of the players, it's the culture. Correct. Big time on that. Derek, nice work on the contract, Matt. Moonscar Blade, he's all over it, isn't he? Chad, good morning, Coach Dan of the Duke Crew. Let's pray they make some good deals on keep our team strong. Woo! I like the way you're thinking. Mark, agreed, Southwest Lion. I think Dan Campbell built this team that way. They did indeed. Robert, whether they win or lose, the difference is when you win, the good coaches and players get targeted. You're not wrong there. Lose and we weed out the bad ones. Cycling. There you go. JK, Southwest Lion, would you prefer they them to walk it or take advantage of a great trade? Let me know. All right. Central Scrutinizer, I'm not concerned about what happens for the upcoming season. It's the following one when we're going to see about some of these players. Unfortunately, cash is king. Yeah, you're spot on with that. I think 2026 is when a lot of these contracts start really inflating. Plus, you have a lot of players who are going to have to get paid. Johnny L, peace out. See y'all tomorrow. We'll see you then. Keith, I trust in MCDC and Brad. We'll keep building the Super Bowl bound team. I like it. Moonscar, Derek Lewis, thanks. Pay attention this past year and understand how it seems to work. All right. Dolomite Kerby under contract. Yes, he's entering his final season. Southwest, I'm over it as far as bitterness towards Ben Johnson. Most coaches eventually want to become head coaches. As for Ben Johnson, he sees Caleb as being a franchise quarterback. Could be. Yeah, we'll have to see if he ends up being. Johnny Gaz, good morning, everyone. Exclamation point. AG knows where his bread was buttered. To me, it's flattering that he wants all of our talent. Believe me, no one is willing to going to the Jets yet. Yeah, maybe in time. JK, I hate every bit of the cash and salary cap space. There you go. Robert, cycling is always happening. Brad Holmes, MCDC, built this whole thing with that in mind. Core, correct. Philippines, call me crazy, but I think your newly hired coaches have been upgraded so far. Okay, call me crazy. 1, 2, 3, go. It happens, man. It happens. We'll have to wait and what happens on the field. Dynamite, what do you got? JK, we can pay them all. All right. Mark, Southwest Line. I'm not sure that Caleb is a, quote, team player. If you look at his history and who he is as a player, he is a loner and is not about, quote, the team. Southwest, Johnny Gaz. I don't blame AG or Ben Johnson for pursuing Lions players that are available either via free agent or trade. Let's see, JK Dynamite. I wish. Southwest, Mark, time will tell on that one. I'm just saying, don't blame Johnson, or anybody who makes the decision to move on for a head coaching opportunity. There you go. Static Dean, morning all. Chris Spielman is not a trader. Don't sweat it. We have Dan Brad running the show with a great front office. It's all good for next year. Kerby is not a trader either. He has the last say. Yes, he does. He would have a say. Him and Brad Holmes would have a say. Science service, look, I like the show, but why in the world would you say Glenn wants all of our defensive players? He still has to get his coaching staff out together. Well, he came out and said it, silent service. He came out and said he would like to get a couple of our Lions players. He named names, so that's why. Clickbait, well, that's, I guess, your opinion, man. I know you came after me yesterday for saying Aaron Glenn backstabbed. And then, you know what? I'm sorry I can't make everybody happy. If my word choices don't work for you, I'm sorry that it's that sensitive to you. All right, Paul, the refs are for sure put their thumbs on the scale. It's obvious to it at this point. Okay. Badman, Levi, yes. Barnes, no. Kerby, Hex, yes. I'll go with that. JK, no Maz Deportes for me. There you go. Central Scrutinizer, a bird in the hand rule should apply. I don't see assets being traded off season. Yeah, we'll see what they do. Mausbar, no more sports for you, JK. We'll find out. Big M, this is not going to be popular, but in your opinion, Brad Holmes is overrated. Would have been pretty hard not to draft starters for the Lions, especially as early as they were picking. His free agent signings are sus. Okay, I get it, man, but also keep in mind, Big M, look at who you're talking about, the Detroit Lions. We've never seen anything like this, so we've had a lot of people, unfortunately, not do well as the GM. JK, Miles Margaret, but I do feel it's for me sometimes. Okay, I know, right? Says Malmar. We can't keep everyone. No, you're spot on with that sound service. You can't keep everybody. It's the downside of things. You're going to be put in some situations where you're going to have to make some hard choices, and that's probably the inevitable situation for the Detroit Lions' success. So I think we all agree with that. All right, let's see. Ryan Branch has missed more games from injury, I believe. You could be correct on that. Southwest Line, it all comes down to the dollars and cents for Kerby, Barnes, or any player. Player careers are limited. Also guessing most of, not all Lions defense players are thrilled about Kelvin Shepard as new DC. Yeah, I'm sure that will play a role, 100% there. Philippines, Coach Dan, do you have a YouTube channel we can watch your games on replay? I do not. As far as the team I coach, I don't. But just for those, I know some of you guys have reached out in the last month or two, asked if I would redo or bring back the winners and losers channel, the one on stocks and the housing market. I am going to bring that back probably next week and start doing it again. Southwest line, Big M Brad Holmes has been GM for 4 years, and the Lions have won back-to-back division titles, 2 playoff games. He deserves at least some credit for that. I'll go with that. It's going to be interesting to see what schematic changes and game adjustments come from our new coordinators. Yeah, they'll have their own stuff. I'm sure we'll see some familiarity. We'll see some changes too. JK, in your making eggs Benedict for breakfast right now. Okay, enjoy them eggs. Spoken Wheels, well, bye. Let them go. See them later. Static Dean, I think other teams plant bots on social media because surely you can't have fans hating on the players when they're only been here 1 year. No one wants to go to another team and leave one build to win. Some will, some won't. Who knows, man? Isaiah, I'd rather have the ball hawk interception machine over Brian Branch. Understand he's versatile, but Kerby is always getting big turnovers. You're spot on with that, man. He does do just that. Spoken Wheels, Joseph is being extended. Let's hope so. Phil, get your own players. That would be nice. Spoken Wheels, Holmes has said they're looking at an extension for Kerby. Yes, he has spoken on that. Robert, if you look at Chicago, Ben needs all the help he can get. This is true. DM5, Kerby is staying put, period. We can trade Goff, though, but no one's interested in that. Maybe true. Robert, same with the Jets. Spoken Wheels, Goff isn't going anywhere. I don't think so. Benjamin, we had our shot for 2 years and played bad. This season could be brutal. Well, let's hope not, man. I'm thinking positive. I'm thinking 12-ish wins. Jim, there are 31 teams with free agents we could get. This is also correct. DM5, Goff stinks. Spoken Wheels, he's not going anywhere. DM5, which is why we may never win. All right. Miles Mark, Goff, my dude, was so disappointed, but 100% for Goff. There you go. Goff has a no trade clause. Okay. Brian, best show in the universe. Go Dan and crew. Go Lions. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. Benjamin, could some of us have to do with Campbell? Could some of this have to do with Campbell? Sure, it could. Brett, Happy Trails, One Pride. Good to see you, my friend, and thank you for that. Have a great day. DM5, Brad Holmes, part Spoken Wheels. Now we're stunk if he chokes again in the playoffs. We'll see. All right, guys, I got to go down here. Wasn't planning on an hour show, but hey, it happens. If you could be so kind before checking out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, take care. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. See you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trail.